When we think about life and the changes we're confronted with, how well do we adjust to changes? On a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 being the lowest, 10 the highest, it makes a big difference if we make the decisions to change our life. Or if we don't, life will make it for us.
After 15 years of being stuck in a body, adversity from one end to the other, how much can a brain and a soul and a body take?
Now let's reflect for a moment. What happened at some point in our life where we thought, I can handle this. I must get through this. I will get through this. I always have. You know the self-talk. Before you know it, nothing is done and you live with something you really don't want. You ignore it and work around it. You justify it. Today's program is about transforming your life, reflecting on where you have been, where you're at now, and where you want to go, and doing it. As an action coach, we can get you from point A to point B to become unstuck, overcoming your life adversity, freeing yourself. This program is of tremendous value to individuals who want to make changes to their life, healing mind, body, and soul. What was important to me to show and share with you is my own transformation. When a person is stuck for so many years, exactly 15 years, and then little by little, through placing yourself in territories where you constantly hear about health and wellness, and over time, you will find the right professionals. And so I did in 2012.
And if I give up my control, I said they have to be leaders. And they are leaders here today. They're leaders, Dr. Prom, Dr. Green, and Diane Bargrove. This is not an advertisement, this is a testimonial. I lost 65 pounds last year. I have another 40 to go. Yeah? So, but it's the energy. I feel like a 40-year-old again.
And we've done many, many radio programs, and I've always kept my audience in the loop, so to speak, with my weight loss. And I just said to the doctors, I said, why don't we do a program? Why don't we do a seminar, presentations, where people can come and meet you, where you can speak and I can share you with my audience, because they don't have far to go when they are ready to make changes in their life. And here's a word from our sponsor.
For more than 20 years, Prosperous Printing in Wilton, Connecticut has served clients, businesses, and the trade from design and printing to folding and bindery. Prosperous Printing uses innovative technology to make color printing affordable. Add impact to your next fundraiser, client promotion, community, school, or church event. Think of Prosperous Printing in Wilton, Connecticut, offering an exciting promotional product selection, smart, fun, and effective. Call Paul today at 203-834-1962. On the web, ProsperousPrinting.com.
Hello and welcome to Life Changes with Marietta. I am Marietta. And in today's program, we're talking about transformation, conscious living. And I would like to introduce my mentor and coach, Dr. Prom from Fairfield, Connecticut. Dr. Prom is a leader. She has the right attitude, great knowledge, and she sure gets the job done. So I would like you to hear what Dr. Prom had to say.
Disease starts in the gut. You've heard that. That if you don't take care of your gut, things will start to fester. Things will start to, what I call a backed up sewer system. And then I said, really, what it comes down to basic naturopathic principles. Your diet, your digestion, your absorption, and your elimination. So if all these 4 pillars are in harmony, you have a good foundation. If they are not, then everything is weak. And when that happens, that's where the weight gain comes in and the dysfunctionality of the gut starts. I mean, I'll give you an example. Mayo Clinic did a study as to why is it that Americans have so much gastric reflux. And they're all on things for burping and gas and God knows what else. So they began to study their counterparts in Europe and Asia. And they found a very simple thing, and it is to do with ice. So if you get iced tea in this country, it's mostly ice and some iced tea in there too. If you ask for iced tea in Asia, you have to ask them, please put ice. And in Europe, the same way. They don't give you water or anything with ice. You'll have to ask for it. And they found that the fact that there's ice in the drink can actually do something to the stomach lining, which is, well, let's think of it. Your body temperature is what, 98.67, whatever. You're 1 degree higher inside the core, inside your belly. So that's 99 degrees. That's almost 100 degrees. 98.6, 99.6. So when you're putting ice, what's the temperature of ice? Any guess? Say, well, freezing is 32. So say it's around that. You throw that into a 99 degree belly, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to shut down the secretions. It's going to form, the body starts to cause a mucus lining to protect the skin, the membrane, and you don't digest. Now, all of us drink something when we eat. At least in America, we do this. And when you're doing that and you're shutting down the digestion, you are not digesting. Does that make sense? I mean, you start to, it just sits there and it ferments. The other thing is that if you're not digesting, you're not absorbing. So that those nutrients are not going to the cells. So you're really starving yourselves. So when we look at this and we say, do I feel healthy? Are my cells getting everything they need to survive a vibrant life? We have to examine that.
I went through a big transformation process, and I know I picked the right person for me. A leader, and again, a person who gets the job done. Let's take a break. The next person you're about to meet is Diane Bargrowth, who helped me in 2012. Diane, I worked very intensely with Diane in regards to my bad habits. Through Diane, I also learned why I actually gained that 100 pounds that I did not want to lose all these years. Let us have Diane explain exactly how everything works. So pay close attention.
And hypnosis, many people have misconceptions about what hypnosis is. Hypnosis is just a very natural state of relaxation, helping you to make the personal changes that you want to make. So whether you want to be more relaxed, whether you want to stop smoking, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to sleep better. Oftentimes what happens is that we have fear, stress, anxiety, perhaps even trauma that prevents us from moving the direction that we want to. So what we do is we work with something called thought field therapy, which was developed by a psychologist, Dr. Roger Callahan, who grew up in Westport, but moved to California where all great things occur. What he's able to do is really create a program that by stimulating certain points on the meridian system helps to clear stress, fear, and anxiety for most people, oftentimes in just a few moments. Using applied kinesiology, we use the body as a lie detector. And so we'd have you stand, hold up your arm, and I just push down on it while you resist. Then I have you say your name, should be strong. Then I have you say a name that's not yours. I use George for everyone. And I have you say, I'm George. When you say something that's not true, or you lie, your arm actually weakens. And so when you say something that's true, it's usually strong. And then I'd have you say you're male or female, just to get a good test. But then if you had a problem, let's just say you had difficulty falling asleep. And I'd have you think about that. Your arm will weaken. It takes energy away from you, creates stress. And then I'd have you say, I want to sleep. And your body will say, no. I want to keep the sleep problem. It will usually say yes. And what that's indicative of is a psychological reversal. And a psychological reversal actually creates a self-sabotage program that prevents us from having what we want. Everyone coming into my office is psychologically reversed about making the changes. Like with a writer, sometimes the harder you try to make a change, and if someone's trying to write and they have a block, they just can't get past that. But oftentimes with wanting to fall asleep, there's fear, worry, or stress or anxiety of not being able to fall asleep. So that prevents us from sleeping. And so when we say, I want to be over that problem, we'll get a no. I want to keep that problem, we'll get a yes. And what we very simply do is actually stimulate certain points on the meridian system that help to get your energy moving in the correct direction.
Diane, I am forever grateful for your services, and you're a great human being, and I continue to see you because it's a constant work in progress. So I want to thank you very, very much. We're going for a quick break, and I'd like you to come with me. Just follow me, and I want you to meet a friend of mine.
We have a few things going on just to promote good oral health, like little flossers. We're actually selling the Prevenant and the MI paste, which you can only get through a dentist. It's an RX, which are full and packed with fluoride. We're giving freebies like toothpaste and toothbrushes and a few pens and pamphlets just to teach and educate the public on how to brush their teeth and floss, because a lot of people seem to forget to floss here and there.
Oh yeah, it's so important.
It is very important. Just 3 days without flossing, it's proven to cause decay immediately between your teeth. Just 3 days.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
Have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.
Okay, you too.
Thanks.
Our next guest is Dr. Constance Green, and Dr. Green is actually the sleuth of the body. So take a listen to what she had to say.
There's a lot of things to think about when we talk about nutrition. And basically, though, we need to have good bone structure, good digestion and absorption, so that intestinal tract really has to be working properly. Does anybody know how many pounds of intestinal bacteria you actually have in your intestine right now? Sounds terrible, doesn't it? But it lives with us. 4 or 5 pounds worth. 4 to 5 pounds of good bacteria. And it lives symbiotically with us because it produces the biotin, it produces vitamin K. It refreshes all those wonderful little finger-like projections that come out from the intestinal tract to pick up all the calcium, all the molybdenum, all the copper, all the iodine, all the stuff that's in the foods we eat. So we have to keep that healthy. And the fiber that we eat, hopefully you're getting at least 25 to 35 grams of fiber a day, also nourishes those little finger-like projections. So when we get sick, one of the things that a lot of people use, because sometimes it's a little serious, is antibiotics. And antibiotics, what it does, it's antibiotic. It kills off the good guys as well as the bad guys. And what grows back is the intestinal pathogens. It's the bad guys that tend to grow back quicker. So when anyone is using an antibiotic, please remember to refresh and restore the good bacteria by buying Culturelle or buying wonderful Ultraflora from Metagenics. We need to choose the Bifidus and the Lactobacillus and re-inoculate our bowels, because that's, again, what we call the second brain. Does anybody know about neurotransmitters? Neurotransmitters are the chemicals that make things happen in the body. And our intestinal tract makes 80% of them. 80%. You would think that only it's manufactured in the brain, but it isn't. It's manufactured in your intestinal tract. So we have to keep that as healthy as possible.
I am proud to know Dr. Constance Green and her spirit to help others. Let us take a break.
Wilton Police of the Canine. Anyone in the building, speak to me now or I'll send the dog.
Welcome to the Wilton Police Department Canine Unit, where everyday issues, missing persons, crime deterrent, narcotic detection, criminal apprehension, community policing, officer safety become daily challenges for partners Officer Wrangle and Canine Officer Enzo.
We all need money. Every program needs money. These dogs cost a lot to maintain, a lot to train, and heaven forbid they get injured or sick or something like that. It could really eat up a canine budget very quickly. So while I would gladly accept any assistance out there, I would also encourage people to look into their local canine programs as well.
The next person you're about to meet is our guest speaker, Carolyn Finch. Carolyn Finch is known as an author, speaker, and as a media personality. And here is Carolyn Finch.
And the exciting part about the body is that we're just learning about the midsection. The fun parts in life are all down the middle of the body. And yet many of us go and we work out on the treadmill and we lift weights and we do all kinds of things that work the two sides of our body, but we forget about the middle of the body. And so we did a little experiment before, and Bobby's going to hold this the way women hold things. You've already had an introduction to kinesiology, but you need to start changing your body immediately. Immediately. Okay, let's test your strength first. Okay, would you hold this, please? Thank you. And we're going to test and see if he's strong. What do you think? You think he's strong?
I think he's strong.
Yeah, so we're going to push his arm. Oh, a little weakness there. If you really are talking to the wrong person, you've had the wrong patient and client, things are not going well, take your hand, the front of the body is positive electricity, the back is negative. Take this and thump your thymus and you'll give yourself quick energy. So we're just going to give you a little bit of energy because you need to be just a tiny bit stronger. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Go. Feel that? See that? Okay, now women, unfortunately, we hold things against our life organs, like this. You put your arm out, and I'm going to just push down, and he weakens immediately. So do, women, get rid of those suitcase-sized purses and start to hold things the way men do. Men do not walk into a business. I spend a lot of time in courtrooms watching people. I see lawyers come in, women lawyers, with big piles of paper, their purse, which is this size, and a cup of coffee. And they're walking into court like this, and they're going to represent you. What do women do with their bodies? I can't begin to tell you, but I am beginning to tell you. So now we're going to see what happens when we hold things the way men do. Okay? Ready? Look at that strength. So women, get your stuff off your chest. By the way, this is a contributor to breast cancer. It weakens the whole immune system and everything drops. I've given you a few little tips today that you can use tomorrow. But we're all in this together. We're all of us, each one of us, on a journey to self-discovery. Speak, and you will be heard. Say something significant, and you will be remembered. Take action, and you will change. Change, and you will contribute to the world. Thank you.
Carolyn Finch's energy is infectious. I want to thank you so much for being part of our Conscious Living 2013 seminar. We hope to see you next year, Carolyn. In today's program, you learned and you saw that it is possible to change. It is possible to go through transformation. It was a wonderful platform. It was a wonderful event. What wisdom and what wealth of knowledge and dedication we shared with our audience that day.